this is the time where people are getting tuned up for spring races and marathons. Nobody's ever run a marathon in under 2 hours. Nike thinks it can be done. Last month, the shoe company announced the location for its attempt to break the 2-hour barrier for marathons. They're going to do this at a race car track in Italy in June. No surprise, the company has engineered special shoes to be worn by 3 world-class runners at the race. Peter Donato thinks that it's going to take more than the shoe, though, to break this barrier. In fact, he is so sure that the record won't be broken, he has announced a bet against Nike. Peter's a marathon runner, founder of a database that tracks running times across Canada, and he's with me in studio now. Good morning.
Morning. Thank you for letting me be here.
Glad to have you here. Dennis Kimetto holds the current marathon record. 2 hours and almost 3 minutes.
2:02:57.
2:02:57.
For those counting, you have to count every second.
You certainly, and then some. People have been thinking about trying to break the 2-hour barrier for a long time. Nike thinks that it's got it licked. You say no. Why?
I say no, and most people that understand the sport and follow the sport are also saying no because the jump is too far. The record has, slowly come down, relatively speaking. It's never jumped this much time, almost 3 minutes in a short amount of span. So I think that maybe the record might come down while I'm alive, maybe not. But to take that much time off, it's more than just the shoe. It's that might save you 10 seconds, but it's asking a lot of these African runners.
Your personal best for a marathon is 2:49.
Yes, that's right. That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. 2:02 and then change to try and dial that back. Why is it so difficult to get below the 2-hour mark?
You reach the limits of human performance. I mean, the lungs can only do so much. The heart can only take so much. There's a lot of variables with the marathon, which is what makes this record really interesting, is that you get a bad weather day in any major marathon, and there goes all the records. They're off the table. Nike's trying to control almost everything, but these aren't robots. These are human beings. And I think most people think that they'll break the record. If all goes well, they'll break Dennis's time. And, I'm going to maybe start a poll to sort of have people discuss that, right, have some fun. But 3 minutes is incredible. It's 7 seconds per mile faster than the current record.
Okay, so there are a lot of people who have been shooting their mouth off about this, saying it's not possible. It couldn't possibly.
A lot of people.
You put your money where your mouth is.
You know what? You can say what you want, but I'm a gambler. I'm playing poker with my group tomorrow night. I'm defending my title from a few months ago.
And so, what is your bet?
My bet is that if Nike does not break, so I'm going to be very clear and specific, it's got to happen soon. I'll let them delay this a month or two. Somebody gets injured, somebody gets sick. Phil Knight can't make the flight. I don't know. Something might happen. But it has to happen soon in 2017. And if they don't break 2 hours, so they can break the record, but if they don't break 2 hours, I'm going to buy my company $10,000 worth of the Nike Vapor Elite is what they're calling this shoe.
That's a new shoe, yeah.
Apparently in June, you and I can probably walk down to the running room and pay $250 and buy the shoe when it comes out to the public.
Why would you make this bet?
Well, don't make a bet that you're not sure of winning, and I'm 90%. I'm more sure today than when I made the bet. After hearing and talking to, I talked to Reed Coolsat last night, Canadian marathoner. He doesn't think it's going to happen. Alan Brooks, race director, Scotia Waterfront Marathon. He doesn't think it's going to happen. Peter Fonseca, a good friend of mine in my press release, Olympic runner, Nike athlete. Most people that know say forget it. It's just too much.
But they're doing everything they can to try and engineer this. I mean, running on this racetrack. It's not a
science
normal.
Behind this is. I love Nike. The science behind this record is really great, and it's going to make us all better. But I don't want. The reason I'm doing this, number one, I'm a gambler. I think it's fun. Let's talk about it. But we're going to use this as an educational tool for our customers and our clients and our runners. And we're going to start talking about, you don't have to buy the best, fastest, lightest shoe to be a better runner. Most runners listening to your show right now could do 4 or 5 little things, and they'll improve their time immediately.
I'll come back to that in a moment. But I remember speaking with Ed Whitlock, great Ed Whitlock.
Great friend, yeah.
85 years old. When he ran his last race, I spoke with him in the morning after. He talked about how he's still running in these 20-year-old running shoes. Didn't like running shoes that were modern.
Precisely.
The belief is that I got to go down to the shop and buy shoes every,
6 months, yeah.
Whatever.
The latest, yeah.
And so you're saying that's nonsense.
No, I think I ran in racing flats, but I was able to. A lot of runners can't. you know? And how much faster can you make a shoe?
What are those little things that people can do? Give us a couple of them to make themselves
Well,
faster.
hydration. You know, if you go to the starting line of any race, 5K, 10K marathon, and you're just 3% dehydrated, your performance is going to suffer. And they've done the math, many studies. A lot of runners show up at a marathon starting line. They might have 10 or 15, more pounds than they really want. There goes your PB. Like racing weight. I'm 100. I'm going to say it on the air. Who cares? People can't see me. I'm like 198 pounds right now, which is terrible for me because I've sort of taken a bit of retirement, have a small child at home. I was 158 pounds when I was racing. Now do the math on that. Imagine I was lean, 8% body fat, so I maximized my performance. So my 249 wasn't a fluke. I had maybe a 245 in me, maybe a 240 one day.
There's a good lesson in this that you don't need all of this science. I mean,
all these gadgets. I only bought a heart rate monitor back when I started running, and I was using that. But the gadgets today are incredible. I kind of laugh. It's fun. It's good business. There's dozens and dozens of running gadgets that people are buying and using, but they don't need them.
You don't think you're going to be
I'm old school.
You're not going to be cutting the check, you don't think, come June when they run this race?
Matt, you're going to get the first pair of shoes, and one of your listeners will get them the next pair of shoes if they break this record in June.
Peter, thank you. We'll be in touch.
Thank you very much.
Peter Donato is the founder of RoadRaceResults.com, 5-time Boston Marathon runner.